Hello. My name's Sam and welcome to my channel Sunnies Sparkly with Sam, and today I'm here for a very special reason. So my lovely friend Lucy is running a challenge throughout May and it is called Sew Skin Summer. And you can join in with this through the whole of the month of May. It is an Instagram challenge and the idea is that you sew a garment or accessory, and that's very important, that helps you provide protection from the sun. So that's the rules in a nutshell, but I'll go into a little bit more detail in a little while. So I thought what I would do for my kind of contribution is that at the end of this video, I'm going to pop in a little tutorial of something that you can make for an easy entry into the challenge so that everyone can have at least one entry in there. So Lucy gets absolutely inundated with entries for the challenge, and lots of awareness will be made for the charity, which I think is absolutely fantastic. So if you don't want to listen to all of this, then just go straight to the tutorial at the end. And if you do want to listen to this and listen to the tutorial at the end, I will try and put a timestamp in for when the tutorial starts and finishes, although that kind of technical stuff is not my forte, but I will see what I can do. So yes, so as I said, skin summer. I'm always terrified that I'm going to get the name of the challenge wrong. So it is Sew Skin Summer, and it is for Melanoma and Skin Cancer Awareness Month, which is May. So it's hosted, as I said, by Lucy, who is at the Sewing Gardener. Get that right. And the hashtag is #SewSkinSummer25. You will need both of those things to enter this challenge. So you'll need to tag Lucy in your post, your Instagram post, and you will also need to use the hashtag #SewSkinSummer. I'm just looking at my iPad now so I don't forget. So the challenge rules, I'll put them up here. So sew a summer garment or accessory that helps provide added skin protection. Share your make by the 31st of May. So that means that any time between now, or even before now, from the 1st of May to the 31st of May, you can post your entry. So you don't need to save it all up and post them all on the 31st. You can do it any time throughout May. Don't forget to tag. So you tag at the Sewing Gardener and use hashtag #SewSkinSummer25 so that Lucy can see all of your lovely creations. So I'm always happy to do a vlog for a friend. I'm always happy to do a vlog for a new challenge. This one I definitely wanted to also sponsor a prize. So I am sponsoring a prize. So Let's Sparkle with Sam. You'll see my little logo on the prizes, and I am sponsoring a prize this month. And the reason I'm doing that is, one, because I wanted to support Lucy, and also I just feel that it's really important to get this message across. And so my prize is going to be my new pattern, and it is for UK entries only, but I will send you the paper copy, and I will also send you a kit with everything in that you need to make it. So that will be, I'll pop a picture of my So Much tote, it will be the canvas, it will be the webbing, it will be any of the bits and pieces that I have said in my instructions that you need to make it, all in a kit, all beautifully presented and sent to you as a prize. So that's another reason, if you are thinking, oh, you know, I don't really need to make anything for summer, then, you know, that might be the little oomph that you need, because you could win a So Let's Sparkle kit for the So Much Space tote bag going through your doorstep, you know, middle of June. Fabulous. So of course you could make a tote bag. It does say accessories, so if you do already have the So Much Space tote pattern, you can download it from my Ko-fi account for free. As I said, the prize is the kit as well. But you can download the pattern for free and you could make that as your entry, because the So Much Space tote has got so much space, so you could put all of your things in it that you need to help protect you from the sun. So your water bottle, your sun cream, your sun hat, all of that jazz. So what I thought I would share with you today is my favourite summer dress make. So my favourite summer dress make is the Zoe dress. So it is the Zoe dress. I have got the pattern envelope here. Look at me being organised. The Zoe dress by Emporio Patterns. It's a fantastic summer dress because it covers you up in all of the places, for me, I need covering up. So because it has got a collar, it means that I can lift, if I find myself sat in the sun, I can lift the collar up, which protects the back of my neck. I can do it right up, which protects my skin. I can also, when I get a bit hot, I can also layer it open. I find that it's got really good coverages on the top of my arms, and it just keeps me nice and covered, and it's a nice length for summer dress while keeping the tops of my legs completely covered when I'm sat down. So I love this pattern. And it is now available on PDF. So I know that when I've talked about this before, it was paper only, but it's now available as PDF. So I'll pop the link down below. Its size is 6 to 30. It's nice and inclusive. So it goes from a bust of 32 inches and a hips of 45 inches to a bust of 56 inches and a hips of 69.5 inches. It's a lovely dress to make, and yeah, and I think summer sewing is all about accessorising. So I've got my summer dress. What else do I need? I need a hat. So I had a little leftover. The great thing about making your own clothes is you've always got scraps left over, even if it's just a tiny little bit. So this summer hat I picked up in not very expensive in a charity shop, and I have just popped a piece of my leftover starry starfish fabric, and I've made it just like you would if you were making a bag strap. So mine, I literally used the scrap that I had. I think it might have been 5 or 6 inches wide, folded it into itself again, sewn around the top, and then I've just kind of made the corners pointy, and voila, I have a sun hat that matches my dress. But where am I going to keep my sunglasses? I can't constantly put them on my head, because then how do I put my hat on? So where am I going to keep my sunglasses? Where indeed. So this is where the tutorial comes in. I have made a tutorial for you to make a little pouch for you to keep your sunglasses in. Now I have made this tutorial adjustable, so that, because not all sunglasses are made equally. Some of them are very wide, like these ones, and some of them are much thinner, like these ones. So I show you in the tutorial how to adapt the pattern so you can make them for larger or smaller sunglasses. And there you have it. And I put a little label on mine. Yeah, I love it. So I've made them in different sizes, some smaller ones, some larger ones, even a sunny one. A sunny one for your sunnies. So the added bonus of these pouches is that you can also use them for popping a phone or sun cream or anything in to keep it protected from the sand, because I find when you don't want to get sand in your port when you're on holiday. So you can actually, out of 2 fat quarters, you can make 4 of these. So you could make lots. You could make a matching set. You could make one for you, one for hubby, one for your kids, one for friends. Great for gifts. So, and I just love it because I can be totally accessorized. So in my tutorial, I show you using a piece of A4 paper how to make the template. However, if you want to go onto my website in the next few days, I will be popping up the Made to Keep Your Specs Sparkly template, which you can then just print out and cut out. But I do show you how to do it with this, and then this is the way that you can make it and adapt it for size. So here's the tutorial. I'll see you in a minute. So today I'm going to show you how to make a lovely, simple sunglasses case to keep your sunglasses in throughout summer, to keep your sunglasses sparkly and to keep your eyes safe in the sun. So I've just made this very simple pouch. Open it up and you pop your glasses inside. It is slightly padded, which will keep your sunglasses nice and safe. So it fits most kind of standard size sunglasses, but obviously if you've got bigger sunglasses or smaller sunglasses, then you can edit this very easily to fit. So I'm going to show you how to make the template. So if you get yourself just a piece of A4 paper, so just a standard piece of A4 paper, and fold it in half. And then along the folded size, you want to mark up 11 inches. And on the open side, you want to mark up 7.5 inches. And then using something curved, it can be a plate, it can be a bowl, it can be anything you like. You'll want to match up those two marks like that and draw a curve. So I'm just going to hold that still. Take my pen, mark up my marks. There we go. And then you cut that shape out, and there you have your template. Here's one I cut out early, made to keep your specs sparkly. So this is the template for my main fabric and my outer fabric. Now you'll want to do your interfacing. We're going to use this lovely soft fleecy interfacing. This one's from Always Knitting and Sewing. I can put a link underneath. And as you can see, it's got a soft fleecy side and then it's got a bobbly glue side. And as you can see, I have cut it about 1 centimetre smaller all the way around. But you know, you can trim it to exactly the same size if you like, or you can make it slightly smaller. It's entirely up to you. This is just my personal preference. So I'm going to be making this one the opposite way round to our sample. So this is going to be my outer fabric and this is going to be my lining fabric. So I have fused my fleece, my fusible fleece, onto my outer fabric. So how I do that is the dotty side, the glue side, I put down onto the wrong side of the fabric, and then I apply heat to this side, just pressing gently for about 10 seconds with a warm hot iron. And then as you can see, it is adhered, and you need to leave that to cool down before you start sewing, which is why I've done mine now. Okay, so once you've got your fusible fleece on your outer fabric, you want to put your outer fabric facing up and your lining fabric right sides facing down. So right sides facing together, pop them on top of each other and line them up. And then you'll want to clip or pin. So what we're going to do is we're going to sew all the way around, but we're going to leave a gap in the side about approximately 6 centimetres in the side. Okay, you can either leave it in the side or at the bottom, but I find if you leave it in the side, it gets hidden better in the stitches. So we're going to sew all the way around with a 1/4 inch seam allowance, and we're going to leave a gap here, yeah, maybe 3 inches or so, just here. So as you can see, I've sewn all the way around and I've left my gap here. And now I'm going to get my pinking shears and I'm going to just cut around this curved edge along here. If you haven't got any pinking shears, you can just cut into the curve. So you just about an inch gap around each time, cut in, but without obviously cutting into your stitches. But I have pinking shears, so I'm going to use them on the curve, like so. And then I'm going to get my normal scissors and I'm just going to cut the corners here. So once we've done that, we're ready to turn through. Now, before you turn through, to help future self, if you just fold the seam over here where your gap is, so fold it over and give it a bit of a finger press, and the same the other side, give it a little finger press and give it a really good press. That will just help when you turn it through. So then you'll want to use your fingers or a little tool that might help you. No scissors, unless you've got blunt scissors, I guess. And then you'll want to take it over to the iron and give it a press. So as you can see, I've given that a press and it looks lovely. So you've got the lining side and the outer side. And now what we're going to do is we're going to do a top stitch that will eventually be on the opening of your sunglass case. So you can just go ahead and do a straight top stitch. So just make your top stitch a little bit longer. Your stitch length may be 3.5 and do a straight stitch. Or if you've got fancy stitches on your machine, why not have a play? So what we're doing is we're just sewing along this edge, okay? So remember, this is going to be the outside. So I'm going to just sew along this edge here only. So I have top stitch there with the lovely little star, sunshine kind of motif that I had on my machine. And now what you want to do is you want to lay it so whichever side you want to be the lining is facing you, and you fold it up to the curve, so where the curve starts, okay? And then I'm just going to put a clip on there just to hold it on in place while we check that it's all nice and level. And then this is a good time to pop your sunglasses in and to make sure that they fit nicely. So before we sew down the edges, because of course we need to close that hole and we need to sew the edges together, this is a good time to put a label in if you want to. So I love, for this job, I love the little tiny labels that you get when you subscribe to the Specky Seamstress labels and bias tape. And these are just brilliant because they're just the right size to pop in. And I'm feeling this is a gift for my daughter, so I think I might do the little cat. So I'm going to pop that in the side here and then clip it in and clip the other side. You can pin it if you want to, but I prefer clips. And then you're going to sew 1/4 inch from the edge down here and down here. Use a longer stitch and don't forget to locking stitch both top ends. Now I find it's easier on your machine to start at the top and work your way down. So now what you want to do is you want to sew your top stitching around here. So what I like to do when I'm doing this side is to turn it over and sew from the top, from where you've locked your stitches here, all the way around to here. And I like to do it in a slightly longer stitch length. There you have, nice neat top stitching. And then your glasses case is almost finished, all bar the poppers. So what you want to do is you want to put your glasses in and see where your poppers need to go, and then mark them. If you want them completely central, then just fold your case in half, and then that kind of gives you a guide for the middle to mark for your poppers. So I have marked where I want my poppers to be and popped them in place. If you want more information onto how to put a popper in, then I have a YouTube short that I will link down below, and it will show you in much more detail exactly how to do them. But for the sake of this video, I'll just pop them on and show you the finished pouch, and there it is, ready for a pair of sunglasses. So as I said, by messing about with the pattern, you can make them bigger or smaller, however it needs to fit your needs. So there are my little specky savers to keep your speckies sparkly. Stay safe. So I hope you enjoyed the tutorial, and I hope you're going to join in the challenge. And don't forget to enjoy our beautiful, gorgeous star responsibly. It's a beautiful thing. Stay safe. And don't forget to sparkle. Bye for now.